In today's video, we have in front of us the PS5 controller, and we'll be unboxing it. I just got it today, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'm actually quite excited because I can't wait to see what type of modifications we can do to it. So let's take a look at it. Ah, goodness precious. So this is the new PS5 controller box. It has, Dualsense wireless controller right here. PlayStation, Sony, and a picture of the controller. Nothing much on the sides. And then on the back, we have a few of the features such as the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, built-in microphone, and signature comfort. So now let's take a look at what's inside the box. Okay, so it doesn't show the controller right away like I did with the PS4. Comes kind of like a little folded box, and then the controller in a little bag with the instructions and all. Let me see if there's anything else. No, that's it. It really doesn't come with anything else. Same thing on this box, there's nothing else in there. Dualsense wireless controller. Just instructions, pretty much, of the product. And here is the new controller. I'm surprised it didn't come with the charging cable or anything in the box. But I guess if you buy a PS5, there's one already included there, or you just have to buy one yourself apart from buying the controller. I don't know, that's a bit, in my opinion, a bit cheap. I guess you could say there wasn't really anything in the box. It was kind of just thrown, not really thought out, in my personal opinion. You can think otherwise. It's just my personal opinion. But the controller actually does feel much heavier than a regular PS4 controller. So a regular PS4 controller, ignore the grips. Hopefully it doesn't add that much weight to it. Let's see, that's 218 grams. What about this controller? 219. And this is a modded controller, so it should be a bit more heavy. No, 208. So, let you know. So about 220, 215, that's how much a regular PS4 controller weighs. That's on grams, and this one feels much heavier, so it should be more than that. Yes, it's almost 300 grams, 280. So I definitely knew that it had a bit more weight to it, and the reason why is because it has a bigger battery in it. So I knew for sure it had to be a bit more heavy. But I do like the controller, I'm not gonna lie, because this format, I'm not really a big fan of this, like the PS4 controller. I'm more of a kind of like a bit more bulky type of controller. The PS4 is not a bad controller, but it was too thin for me, too small in my opinion. So if you do have bigger hands, you might be liking more on the DualSense more than the DualShock controller. So I'm actually a big fan of the DualSense just because it's way bigger than the DualShock. The DualShock, for me, I had never really liked it so much because it was so thin, like on the grip and on the handles, and it was just a small controller in my opinion. When the DualSense, it's actually wider and it actually is a bit more bulkier. So for some people, it might be some getting used to it, but for the larger people or people that play on the Xbox, it might be a bit more easier to get used to this controller. Here we have a closer look at the controller. It's all matted white and black. I really like that. And then on D-pad, it has like a layer of see-through plastic, and then at the bottom of that you have the indicators. So I'm really liking that. We have the create button on the top left corner, and then we have your touchpad in the middle, your PlayStation button in the middle as well, and then you press that to turn your controller on. It might not be charged, so it won't stay on, or it might need to be connected to the PS5, that way it stays on. Then at the bottom we have kind of a see-through button, and that is to mute your mic. And then right here in the very bottom we have a little hole, that's where your mic is. So if you don't want people to hear you, just press that. I'm guessing it will turn red, and then your mic will be turned off or muted. And then you have your speaker in the middle, then you have your options button on the right corner, triangle, square, X, and circle. I really like this analog sticks because at the edge of the analog sticks it has a grip to it, so it's not easily going to come off your finger, and it'll be easier to get a hold of it. And if you're playing for too long, your fingers tries to get sweaty, it'll still have a grip on there. Unlike the PS4 version, it doesn't really have a grip, so it can easily slide from your finger. Another thing that they did is that they changed the analog stick, so it's much smoother on the Dualsense. And at the bottom we have the connector for your headset or microphone or headphones. We have our L1, L2, R1, R2, and then in the middle we have a USB Type-C connector. That way we can charge the controller. So that's the thing with this controller, is that if you don't own already a USB Type-C, then you actually have to purchase one on the side, unless there's one that comes in whenever you purchase the PS5. I'm kind of bummed out about it that it doesn't come with a charging cable, but to some people it might not be a problem. Here's the back. It's like way wider than the PS4 version, the DualShock and the DualSense. It's the comparison to both controllers. You can definitely see a big increase in size on the DualSense than in the DualShock. On both sides that you look at it, even on thickness as well, the DualSense is thicker than the DualShock. If you look close enough on the handles, there's tiny little dots that create kind of like a grip feel on the controller. Of course, it's not the best grips out there, but it's better than nothing in my opinion, so I'll take that. And then right at the bottom, instead of going around like it was on the PS4 controller, the PS5 is kind of like cut off in a way. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about it. It's quite new, but it gives it a dramatic look to it, in my opinion. I gotta give it to PlayStation. This controller is a true beauty. So here is the PS5 DualSense controller. Let me know what you think about this controller. Me personally, I'm actually digging it. So do let me know in the comment section below what you like and what you don't like about the new DualSense controller for the PS5. So that was it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, make sure to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and I'll see you guys on the next time.